Dr. Loh, by the power vested in the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, I am pleased to install you as the President of the University of Maryland College Park with all of the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining to the Chief Executive. Dr. Loh, as a symbol of your office, we wish to present you with a medallion imprinted with the seal of the university. Congratulations. Thank you. Chancellor Kerwin, I now ask that you give the charge to President Loh.
President Loh, as a person who had the great good fortune to hold the position you now occupy, I have a keen sense of the challenges and opportunities you will face. It is, therefore, a special honor and privilege for me to issue your charge. You follow in the footsteps of President C.D. Moat, whose leadership brought tremendous growth and enhanced stature to the university. But we are pleased that you have already begun your own journey as leader of the state's flagship institution, rethinking and repositioning the University of Maryland for even greater success in the years ahead. We are indeed fortunate to have you as the institution's new leader, with your impressive record of accomplishments and with a life story that is truly inspirational. You, Wallace Loh, are ideally suited to lead this university at this propitious moment in time. Accordingly, I charge you to execute your delegated authorities as leader of this great institution with the highest standard of professional, ethical, and academic integrity, and to advocate with all the force you can marshal on behalf of the university community, which has placed its faith and trust in you. I charge you to honor the contributions of the faculty, staff, students, and alumni, recognizing that the university's stellar reputation and enormous potential today exists because of the efforts of generations of individuals who have dedicated their professional lives and personal resources to advancing this institution. I charge you to be ever mindful of the historical traditions and responsibilities of the University of Maryland College Park as the state's original land-grant university, while at the same time ever expanding the institution's horizons and impact as the state's flagship university. And through the recruitment and retention of exceptional faculty, staff, and students, I charge you to advance the quality of the university, leading it to become one of the world's preeminent research universities with programs that respond to critical state, national, and global needs. None of these responsibilities will be easy to meet. Undoubtedly, there will be times of great success and moments of disappointment. But throughout your tenure as president, I charge you to always represent the best interests of this great university and the University System of Maryland with all the strength you can muster. In return for your commitment to meeting the obligations I have just delineated, I pledge my personal support, and on behalf of the members of the Board of Regents, their unstinting support as you work to carry out your responsibilities on behalf of the university. I also pledge that through the good times and bad, the University System of Maryland will be your partner and ally. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor and privilege to present to you the University of Maryland's newly installed president, Dr. Wallace Loh. This is a great moment for us, Wallace. This is a great moment for you. This is a great moment for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to thank each of you for coming here today to share this special moment with Barbara and me. My wife Barbara and I, we have been so excited, so touched by the warmth of your welcome to this university and to the community of College Park. We are proud to be Terps, and we are thrilled to be living in this wonderful community. Thank you for your very, very warm welcome. President Mason, my mentor and former boss, it means everything to Barbara and me that you have come all the way from Iowa to be with us on this occasion. Thank you so much. Chairman Kendall, Chancellor Kerwin, I accept the honor and the responsibility of being the 33rd President of the University of Maryland. The charge that you give me is not mine alone to accept. This is a charge for every member of the university community to accept with me, because the future of this university depends on all of us. That is the significance of today's inauguration. An inauguration is not just to install a new president. It is also to celebrate this university, to recognize the contributions and the loyalty of every single member of this university family: faculty, students, staff, alumni, administrators, members of the Board of Regents, trustees, friends, and supporters. You are the university. You have helped make this university great, and I know you will help make this university even greater tomorrow. Thank you for all that you do for the university. I assume this office with humility because I stand on the shoulders of giants who preceded me: Dan Moat and Britt Kerwin. You have led this university to remarkable heights of stature and impact. Thank you so much for your leadership. If I may, I'd like to acknowledge my family. My wife, Barbara, would you please stand up? Thank you. Thank you for your love and support during our 27 wonderful years together. To our daughter, Andrea, I know you're watching us through streaming video, and I know that you wanted to be here, but you're doing the right thing. You should be in your dorm studying for finals, so good luck to you. To my mother and father, I wish you could be here today, because you live forever in my memory. You sacrificed to create a world of possibilities for me. I came to America at the age of 15 to a field of dreams called Iowa. I came alone, without family or friends, with limited English, with $300 in my pocket, the life savings of my parents. But I came sustained, as generations of immigrants before me and after me have been sustained, by an unwavering faith in the promise of this country. That with hard work, perseverance, and commitment to education, one can achieve one's dreams. My 4 years in the heartland of this country, going to college, transformed my life, and it set the stage for the journey that led me here today. My life story is of no consequence, other than the broader story of this nation's promise and of the importance of education. It is a story for young people so that they can think as they grow up, if he can make it, so can I. It is the story of our nation's evolution towards a more inclusive society and the forming of a more perfect union that allows an Asian Hispanic American to stand here as the president of the University of Maryland. It is the enduring story of the American dream. I know that nothing is accomplished solely by dint of one's own efforts. I will always be grateful to the generations of trailblazers who came before, who paved the way for me today. I've been on this job now for 6 months. New president, and so I'm reading all these books on how to be a president. So if you will just indulge me for a moment, I'd like to share with you some of the insights I'm acquiring. I have learned that there are high expectations for a college president. A president has to speak in words that always charm and never offend. To take bold stands on controversial issues with which nobody will disagree. And to get all things done through faculty committees with the speed of light. Faced with these daunting expectations, I hope you can see why I was delighted when some nights ago an angel appeared in my dreams. And the angel said, "You're going to be a new president. So I'm here to offer you one of 3 gifts to help you be successful as a president. You can have unlimited power, or tons of money, or infinite wisdom. Which do you choose?" So I thought about it, and I said, "I need wisdom." And the angel said, "Your wish is my command." Waves a wand, poof, the angel goes away. And the next day, I'm out there, and who do I run into but Britt Kerwin? He sees me, with somewhat of a halo over my head. I tell him the story, and he says, "Well, Wallace, tell me, what did you choose? Since you chose wisdom, what great wisdom can you share with me?" And you remember, Britt? I said, "I should have taken the money." There's another book I've been reading that says that a college president has to have the wisdom of Solomon, the cunning of Machiavelli, and also the stomach of a goat and the shell of a turtle. Now, I want you to know I've been working hard in developing this combination of attributes. I just hope I get it right and I don't end up with the wisdom of a goat and the cunning of a turtle. So inauguration is a time to take stock of how far we have come and to look beyond the horizon, to imagine the future. In 1856, a small band of merchants and planters gathered on a rustic hill here in Prince George's County. And they vowed to create a new college. They were led by Charles Benedict Calvert, a direct descendant of the first Lord Baltimore. And they vowed that they will create an institution superior to any other. Thus began the Maryland Agricultural College with 13 students and 3 faculty members. If our founders were looking upon us today, I think they will be proud, they will be amazed, they will be inspired to see the powerhouse university that we have become, with 37,000 students, 9,000 faculty and staff. We have kept faith with our founders. Number 5 ranking. 3 months ago, Kiplinger magazine ranked the University of Maryland number 5 among all public colleges and universities in this country in both quality and affordability. The entering freshmen have amazing credentials and diversity, with a median GPA of 3.9 and the median SAT score of 1,300. And 38% of our students are students of color. You know, I have a confession to make. If I were applying now to the University of Maryland, I probably would not be accepted. I'm only, grateful that the standards for hiring a president are not as high as the standards for hiring recruiting freshmen. We are one of the great public research universities in this country. No public research university has risen as high and as fast as the University of Maryland has over the past 15 years. So if there is one commitment I want to make to you today, it is this: we will stay the course in our rise in excellence. We will be relentless in our drive to greater prominence and impact in everything that we do, in academics, in the arts, and in athletics. We will continue our ascent by emphasizing 4 strategic priorities over the next 10 years. 1, student opportunity and achievement. 2, innovation and entrepreneurship. 3, internationalization. 4, service to the people of Maryland. These priorities reflect the goals, the dreams, the aspirations I've heard from so many of you during the past 6 months as I was holding these listening sessions. They build upon our existing strengths and our values, and they're rooted in our strategic plan, Transforming Maryland. 1, student opportunity and achievement. Above all, my presidency will be dedicated to further strengthening the academic excellence, the educational excellence of our university. Our high calling as educators is to help transform students' lives. The poet Yeats put it best: education is not the filling of a pail, it is the lighting of a flame. And our job as educators is to light a flame in the lives of our students that will last a lifetime. Our education is second to none. We have acclaimed living learning communities. We have a new core curriculum that transforms liberal arts education, the rich opportunities for research and service learning and internships. And most important, we have dedicated faculty and very dedicated student affairs staff. The proof is in the pudding. Last night, I was invited to address a group of students. Amazing. Over 80 students this year have been awarded national scholarships. Fulbrights, Goldwater, Beinecke, Churchill, Gilman, National Science Foundation, Boren, critical language scholarships. And they will be going forth, most of them, to study all over the world, in Asia, in Latin America, in Africa, in Europe. And it just occurred to me, rather than talk about them, you should see them for yourselves. So I've invited them. 20 of them could be here. Would you please stand up? We are so very proud of you. And, you know, as I was going around talking to these young people, the only words that I could think of is the wisdom of that Talmudic scholar who said, from all my teachers I have learned, but from my students, I have learned most of all. Thank you for being with us. And thank you to the faculty for educating them and mentoring them and supporting them. We have come far, but we have more to do. The state of Maryland is the second largest exporter of college talent. 1/4 of the best high school students enrolled in College Park. We will increase that number to 1/3. We want to keep our homegrown talent right here in Maryland. Higher education is the key to success in the global knowledge economy. Until recently, the United States ranked #1 in the proportion of its population with college degrees. Today, we rank #10 among industrialized nations, and we rank even lower among graduates with STEM degrees: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. No state can lead this nation. No nation can lead this world unless it leads in the production of college graduates. That's why Governor O'Malley has set the stretch goal of 55%, that 55% of the adult Marylanders will have a college degree by 2025. And the University System of Maryland has embraced that strategic goal. Our state cannot reach the goal of 55% unless the flagship university leads the way. Over the next 10 years, as we get state funding for growth, we will expand our enrollment of undergraduates and transfer students at College Park and Shady Grove by 4,000. We will increase by 1/3 the number of graduates with STEM degrees. This call to action is not just an educational necessity, it is a moral and economic imperative. The 2010 census shows us that the face of this country is changing. Just look at the classrooms and playgrounds of public schools around this country. Before this decade is over, almost one half of those school children in public schools will be minorities. And if you look at Hispanics, for example, almost 50% never finish high school. Our youth are the future of this country, and the future of this country is tied to the educational achievement of its youth. The golden doors of opportunity cannot close on America's young. We will support opportunity, we will support achievement. The achievement of all of our students will be a measure of the educational excellence of the University of Maryland. 2, innovation and entrepreneurship. We are proud of the research and creative work of our faculty in all academic disciplines. Our faculty has shot rockets into comets to study their makeup, published seminal works on the lives of slaves in America, created genetically engineered fungus that combat malaria, curated art exhibits in the National Gallery, appear regularly on national media to comment on the historic uprisings in the Arab world. Our faculty secured last year $550 million in external research funding. For every $1 that we pay our faculty in state-supported salaries, they generate, on average, $3 in external funding. We will continue to build on this outstanding record. But in the words of President Obama, we face a Sputnik moment. Not one single dramatic event, not a sudden epiphany, but a gradual and continuing widening between our country and rising nations in the world, in education, in science and technology, and above all, as a result, in economic competitiveness. A couple of months ago, I was invited to speak to some members of the Democratic Senators Outreach Committee on Capitol Hill on this topic. And I emphasized that the American Research University is a landmark of American civilization. But what we must do now is respond to this Sputnik moment. We at Maryland are a great research university. We must also become a great innovation and entrepreneurial university. Faculty research is driven by passion to advance the frontiers of knowledge. But a byproduct of that passion is the creation of new jobs, new wealth that are essential to the future of our state and the nation. We must set as a high priority to translate the results of academic research into viable enterprises. Innovation is not just about science and technology and business. It is about new vision, imagination in all areas of inquiry and creative work. It is about putting knowledge into practice. The University of Maryland will launch a Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, a one-stop concierge service. The vision is to make innovation and entrepreneurship an integral part of our academic culture, to make the university a major catalyst for economic development in the state and in the region. We currently invest about $5 million a year in these activities. We will raise $60 million for the center. We will start 100 new companies over the next 10 years. For example, a company that was incubated right here at MTech was recently sold for $1 billion. This center is the brainchild of my predecessor, Dan Moat. I am delighted and grateful. I'm delighted and grateful that Dan has agreed to come and lead this effort and help launch the center. At the recently concluded Maryland General Assembly, there was language in the appropriations bill that directs the regents of this university to study, to explore the possibility of a, quote, merger between the University of Maryland, College Park and the University of Maryland, Baltimore. I support this study, and I stand ready to help the regents in any way I can as they do their study. And I know that my colleague, President Jay Perman, President of University of Maryland, Baltimore, stands ready as well. This is a very difficult and complex issue. And as I reflect upon it, I'm reminded of the words of President Abraham Lincoln when he signed the Morrill Act in 1862, at the time of our nation's greatest existential crisis. The Morrill Act envisioned a wholly new type of a university that became the foundation for 150 years of our national prosperity and our national progress. It was a controversial issue, but this is what he wrote in soaring words that I believe are applicable today. He said, "The dogmas of the past are inadequate to the future. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise to the occasion. As our case is new, we must think anew." Whatever the regents eventually decide about organizational merger, I think this is an opportunity for all of us to rise to the occasion and envision the purposes of research universities in the 21st century. How can the flagship campus in College Park and the founding campus in Baltimore come together in ways that will catapult both campuses to the highest levels of global and national prominence, in ways that will benefit the students of both campuses, in ways that will be a win-win for the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland, in ways that will benefit our sister institutions in the system. As President Perlman said in his inspiring inaugural address last November, quote, "We go further and faster when we go together." 3, internationalization. Thomas Friedman has taught us that the world is flat. We are totally interconnected so that there's free flow of goods and capital and people and ideas across national boundaries. In this flat world, great universities will be globally networked. Great universities will be universities without borders. Our nation's capital is an international hub. We are next to our nation's capital. This positions us to be a hub where the best American talent and international talent can congregate, collaborate, and innovate. We can be the hotspot where East, West, North, South come together. We will deepen the global competencies of our students. We will expand the global content of our curricula. We will project the university onto the world stage by sending more of our students abroad. And we will bring the world to College Park by attracting top international undergraduate students as part of our normal complement of out-of-state students. Only 2% of our undergraduates come from abroad, the lowest among our peer institutions. Internationalization is a passion for me. We have a responsibility to educate students so that they live and work and play in an interdependent world. We all live on the same planet, but we're often separated by culture, by ethnicity, by religion, by values. When we learn to see ourselves in the faces of people who are different than us, we reaffirm our common humanity. No corner of this globe will be beyond our reach, but we will place strategic emphasis on certain areas. China. China is the most important economic relationship for this country in this century, and the university is already extensively networked in China. Recently, when the president of China came to DC, I was invited to have lunch that was hosted by the Secretary of State and the Vice President. And Stanley, thank you very much for arranging that invitation. I was asked, how will the University of Maryland contribute to President Obama's 100,000 strong initiative to send 100,000 Americans to China? I just gave the facts. We already send 100 Maryland students to study in China every year. We send our faculty to Jiangsu province, where they award the master's degree in criminology. We offer the executive MBA in Beijing, and we send our business students there. And last year, in this nationwide competition, business competition in China, our students took first place. And we bring Chinese government officials to College Park, over 100 every year, to study and receive an executive master's degree in public policy. We have Chinese startup companies in our business incubator, and that mode has been a leader in the establishment of the Confucius Institute here on our campus. I also have a dream, and I hope this can happen if our athletic director is here and listening. I would like our athletic teams to go play in China or elsewhere around the world. Turf athletics to be the front porch of our global house. Now, how cool is that? Think of all the China fans who will learn to fear the turtle. There is no limit to the impact that university can have on the world. No limit to the impact that internationalization can have on the education and the lives of our students. 4, service to the people of Maryland. As we pioneer the future, we must remain faithful to our past and adapt our founding values to the needs of the present. The 19th century land-grant university contributed to economic development by applying science to agriculture. Today, the state of Maryland is primarily urban and suburban. Agriculture is no longer the #1 economic activity of the state. However, the land-grant mission remains our guiding principle. From Cumberland in the west to Ocean City in the east, from Rising Sun in the north to St. Mary's in the south, we are the university of and for the people of Maryland. Our land-grant mission calls us to apply all the intellectual resources of this university to serve the people of Maryland in metropolitan areas as well as in rural areas. Every part of the university is engaged in this land-grant mission. For example, the College of Education promotes minority achievement and urban education. The School of Public Health advances health equity and health literacy. The School of Architecture and Planning is at the forefront of smart growth. The College of Agriculture and Natural Resources has cooperative extension offices in every county in the state and in Baltimore, the city of Baltimore. They teach entrepreneurship courses to inner-city youth. They teach urban horticulture to the residents of the city of Baltimore. Grow it and eat it, and they grow 20,000 pounds of food a year. Nowhere is our land-grant mission more important than in our own community of College Park. Executive Baker, Mayor Fellows, I pledge to you that we will work collaboratively to make a positive impact on our community of College Park. We will develop a safer, more attractive, less car-congested community with stronger schools, a community that more of our faculty and staff will choose to live in. We will develop a town center in East Campus. I'm looking at the members of the council of Prince George's County. A town center that will be a place of destination. And earlier this week, the Board of Regents voted to endorse the Purple Line. They voted to endorse any alignment through our campus that will maximize our chances to get federal funding for the Purple Line. Thank you for your support. I have set forth 4 strategic priorities. These are not promises that I make to you. These are opportunities for us together to pursue. Now, some of you may wonder, how can we go forward with an ambitious agenda in these trying economic times? The economic recovery is fragile. Our nation's fiscal house has to be put in order. The federal and state budgets will likely be constrained for some time to come. Hard times call for straight talk and hard choices. Nobody knows when our economic travails as a nation will end, but they will end because the economy runs in cycles. In our blessed country, we have faced hard times before, and we have emerged stronger than before. So we must position ourselves now to make hard decisions. When the lean times recede, we will surge ahead. We will continue to practice fiscal discipline, reallocate budgets to protect quality, advocate tirelessly for state funding, demonstrate our accountability to state priorities, expand new sources of revenue, invest in our strategic priorities, and above all, continue our drive to greater excellence in everything that we do. Where I grew up, there's a saying, en mares revueltos, ganancias de pescadores. In stormy seas, fishermen prosper. Our university community is blessed with many assets, but the most important asset is our Terp character. We're determined. We work hard. We're innovative. We're risk takers. We will fish and we will prosper. Let me close with another saying from the country where I was born. 中中理想的老年人，总是为了年纪轻人享受。A village comes of age when its elders plant trees under whose shade they will never sit. You and I, well, some of you and I, are the elders of this university. Let us plant trees together of student opportunity and achievement, innovation and entrepreneurship, internationalization, and service to the people of Maryland. Trees that will provide shade for generations of Marylanders to come. Thank you, and go Terps!